Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I've seen a lot of requests on both the comments feed on YouTube and in my DMs on Instagram to make some sort of ranking video of the tech suits that I have tried. Now, I was thinking of different ways that I could put together such a video, and personally I really enjoy watching the tier list videos on YouTube, so I thought I would try something similar with tech suits. So that is what I'm going to be bringing you today. I'm going to make a tech suit tier list. Now, I've ordered the tech suits at the bottom from prices ranging from low to high, and then the last three are discontinued suits. And we'll just go through one by one, put them on the list, and then maybe arrange them a little bit more specifically at the end. When this tier list is finished, it will be separated into different tiers, of course, and within each tier the suit will be ordered. First suit we have to talk about is the Mizuno MX Sonic 02, and this is Mizuno's sort of entry-level version of their suit. It's 35 British pounds, which is absolutely nothing for a high-waisted tech suit. It does have stitch seams and lack of water repellency, but the material is still really high quality, and combined with the price, I think this is a solid D tier suit. Next up we have another cheapo from America. It's the Rocket Science Sports Orbit 2. It's £46 and also only has stitch seams and a slightly thicker, less tech suit material. For that reason, I'll stick it in E tier. Next up, surprisingly dropped in price heavily recently, and that's the MP Espresso tech suit. And it's not really a tech suit I'm a huge fan of, but at just £99, I can't not put it in the D tier. These are the only three suits that I've reviewed that fall under £100. So if you are looking for a cheaper suit, then the Mizuno and the MP might be a good bet. Going slightly more expensive, we have the Speedo Laser Racer Elite 2 at £123, and the version I have tested is both the high waist and the lower waist version, and as you know, I'm a high waist advocate. This suit is definitely better for longer distances, being comfortable, but with a low compression rate. I think it falls somewhere between C and D tier. For now, I think we'll put it in C tier. Next up we have the Arena Carbon Air, which since the release of the Air Squared is just £135. This suit is light, comfortable, flexible, and with the horizontal carbon fibre strands, also has okay compression for this style of suit. For me, it's happily in B tier. Next up we have the £146 Finney's Rival. Just like the Air, since the release of the Rival 2.0, this has fallen in price dramatically. It features a unique and comfortable material, but with some of the more advanced features such as areas of dual layering and internal taping. For that reason, I'll put it in B tier, but unlike its successor, the Rival 2.0, it does have a few quirks. The inner thigh near the leg gripper doesn't seem to sit flush with your leg, sort of pops up a little bit, and there are some intricacies to it that needed to be improved upon, and that's why the Rival 2.0 is a much better suit. Jumping ahead, also a high-waisted suit, but with the refinements from the original model, and it's definitely an A tier suit. Next up we have the Tier Victor, an old favourite, comes in awesome funky designs. It costs £160 now, with the Venzo dropping its price nicely. Get it in a high-waisted and a standard cut fit. It's similar to the Laser Elite 2 and the Carbon Air. It's flexible, easy to put on, a thinner, lighter material, very water repellent. Longevity could be better, but it's definitely a C tier suit. Then we have the Aquarius Myskin Sensation. This suit is terrible. Just slightly more expensive, we have the two Mizuno models, the GX Sonic 3 ST, which is this all red one, and the MR edition, the multi-racer. These two suits are absolutely excellent, and the fact they're only £165 and I'm getting to them before so many other suits is just absurd. The MR will sit in S tier, slightly ahead of the ST. I'll put the MR in front of the ST because it is the more versatile suit. It has better compression and it has better buoyancy. Next up we have the QSW Vision. I've not reviewed this suit yet. It will be reviewed soon. It's a British suit from a brand that mainly specialise in making sort of team kits and custom kits, that sort of stuff. It's a very comfortable suit with a little bit of dual layering, and again very easy to put on, but lacks a few bells and whistles, but pretty decent for the price. I'd say somewhere between C and D tier. We'll leave it in C tier for now. And then it's just slightly more expensive than the Mizuno GX Sonic 3s. We have the top of the line 4ST. This is the best suit in my opinion. It's the one I'm going to be wearing this summer when I've finished my taper, I've shaved, and I want to swim PBs. And again, all my PBs have been set in this suit. That's the top of S tier. We then have the Air Squared. It's £185. It's slightly refined to what the Air was, with a little bit less modesty lining and without that seam running down the outside of the thigh, making it just a one-piece construction. You know, you can split hairs between whether or not the Air or the Air Squared is better. I actually know people that prefer the Air. I personally prefer the Air Squared, but it's the same category, just the Air is £50 cheaper. Then at £185, we have Australian surf lifesaving brand Engine's latest addition to the market, the Wingskin Bullet. Has a lot of similarities to the QSW, a little bit more taping on the thigh, makes it have better compression. I also prefer the cut of this. The QSW comes up quite high on the leg, similar to how the Laser X does. I'll put this in somewhere between B and C tier. I'll leave it in C tier for now. Next up, we have Speedo's last flagship, the Laser Racer X. I hate this suit. It feigns compression by having this really tight waistband and leg grippers, but the material doesn't actually compress or support your legs very well. Its cut is abysmal. It's very high up on the quads, very low on the waist, unless you do get a high-waisted version, and was a huge flop in my eye. And there is a reason I've not spent a lot of time talking about it on this channel. For that reason, we'll stick it in D tier. Oh, the next suit, £200. The Q swimwear, not to be muddled up with the QSW I mentioned earlier. Q Glide Plus. Now this is not a tech suit in my opinion. They said it has bonded seams, but they literally have stitched seams, and they've put some tape over the top of stitched seams and called it bonded seams. The only thing that I like about this is the epic funky designs it comes in. Then if you look at so many other suits on this list, they also come in epic funky designs. So that is not a reason to buy this suit. There really isn't, and it's the only suit I'm going to put in F tier today. Next up, we have another Aquarius suit, the MySkin IO. This is much better than the Sensation. It combines a little bit of the Sensation's material, but with much more coverage of a carbon fibre like material you would get in the Arena Carbon Flex. And actually I prefer it than the Carbon Flex, and I'll stick this in B tier. Moving on to the £232 Carbon Flex, and it's a solid, just good all-round suit that a lot of people like, but for me it doesn't have any standout bells and whistles, and I much prefer the Discontinued Carbon Pro. The Carbon Pro had more compression, so I'll put the Pro in B tier and the Flex in C tier. Then we have the Hammerhead Silver Armour. This is £240, so importing this from Brazil, you'd have to really want the suit. You don't really want this suit. It's in E tier. Lack of compression, weird feel, cool concept having silver inside a suit, but not a suit you want to buy. Talking about a suit you don't want to buy, and that's the £270 Arena Carbon Ultra. It's their most expensive model. I just can't think of one reason you would want to buy it over any other Arena model. You want a lighter, more flexible suit, get the Carbon Air. You want compression and a little bit more spring, get the Carbon Pro or even a Carbon Flex. This is a heavy, thick, uncomfortable suit that's hard to get on and doesn't justify its price. D tier. We then have Speedo's latest, and I wish I had this crazy Phoenix red colorway that I've got in the picture here. This is an A tier suit. It has dual layering, internal taping, feels good for sprints, good for longer stuff, a little bit more comfortable and flexible and easy to put on than the Mizuno's, but without quite the spring and snap of them. Great suit. Then we have the Hammerhead Hydro Flow, £280 again. These Brazilian suits from Hammerhead are really expensive, and I don't really know why. This is a pretty run-of-the-mill suit. It has a lot of similar traits to something like the Laser Racer Elite 2, that sort of papery material. This has a slightly higher waist fit, but not full high waist. I quite like the suit, and performance-wise, it would fit somewhere in C and D tier, but the price definitely then puts it below all the other C tier options, which are cheaper. We then have Tier's latest flagship for this year, the Tier Venzo. I love this suit. It's great for a wide variety of races. It's got taping on the quadriceps, which no other suit on this list has, as well as on the hamstrings. It has areas of dual layering. It's a great suit, happily an A tier. And then we have two discontinued suits, the Rocket Science Fu 2 and the Jacket Jo5. This was Jacket's first suit since the tech suit ban and their JO1 in 2009, and was thick, hugely compressive, and a really nice cut as well. And I wanted to mention it because it stands up above some of these suits today and would go happily in C tier. And then finally the Fu 2, weird suit, almost plasticky and feels like it should be banned, with really narrow legs. That can go in D tier. So I'm just going to label the tiers a little bit. We're going to have S tier as God tier. These suits are a cut above the rest. They are all from Mizuno, and they are, as you know, my favourite suits, the best suits on the market, and their features do really set them apart from everything else. The next tier will be suits that have a combination of internal taping and dual layer. These two features are what make a suit great in my opinion. They add buoyancy and they add snap off the walls, and that's why these three suits are great. The Venzo is my favourite of the three. It's then very much a toss-up between the Finney's Rival 2.0 and the Speeder Laser Pure Intent. I think I prefer the Rival and then the Laser, but like I said, all three are great suits, and they are that next cusp underneath the Mizunos of suits that you should think about purchasing. The next suits are sort of all great performance. That's without a doubt. I like everything in this tier. I would probably say the Carbon Pro is my favourite, and that's the only old school suit that would almost be in that next tier above. Just doesn't have internal taping or dual layering, but it has amazing compression. It was a pure thoroughbred sprint suit and I absolutely loved it. I think the Air Squared is a little bit better than the Air, but as I said, the Air is cheaper, so has its own reasons to purchase. Both suits are great for things like medley, breaststroke, longer distance freestyle where you want comfort, lightness. Even like a 200 fly, I could really enjoy using this suit. Next up we have the Rival. Again, it has a lot of great features and the price is really good for what you get. Of carbon-like suits, the MySkin IO may not have invented the wheel, but it definitely had a very unique and novel take on it, mixing it with some slightly more traditional material, and it's again a good sprint suit with compression and a little bit of mobility from that other material. Everything in C tier is a solid suit. They will get you from A to B fast, they don't have any huge drawbacks, and generally I've enjoyed using the majority of these. I'm going to say I prefer the Evicta the most out of all of these. It's light. Again, it's one of the suits I'd recommend the most for distance freestyle, and there's no surprise that some tier athletes still use this over the Venzo for certain events. The Carbon Flex VX will be next. It is just a solid, great suit. You're going to see a lot of top swimmers wear it at the World Championships. A lot of arena athletes choose this over the other models, and for good reason. Next up will be the Engine Windskin Bullet. It's a bit more of an unheard of suit, but one I really do like. And last in this tier, I will have the Jacket JO5. I'm going to call the next tier suits with some bad points, because they are still good suits in their own right, but they do have some drawbacks. And I'm actually going to move the Laser Elite 2, the QSW Vision and the Hammerhead Hydro Flow into this tier, just because I think they do have some bad points. I think that Speedo needs more compression. This needs slightly more coverage and compression. This needs to be a lot more affordable. This doesn't have bonded seams. This needs more compression. This needs better. In fact, this can go in this tier. This is way too expensive to be here. And this is no longer on the market. So these are suits with some bad points, and I'm pretty happy with the order of that. And this tier would be not recommended. There we go. Probably the Ultra is the best of the bunch, but £270, even discounted, like maybe under £200 for some of the colourways. Don't get it. It's not good enough. This is again discontinued, but don't get it. This might be recommended. It's just the Mizuno MX Sonic is a much better suit. If you want cheap, makes this a bit more obsolete, but does some cool like team colour editions you can do. This suit is just terrible, and this for £240, don't even get me started. And lastly, I'll call this tier not a tech suit, because I don't really think it's a tech suit. It's trash. At £200, what are they thinking? There we have it, labelled in order my 2019 tech suit tier list. As with any tier list, there is going to be some controversy and you're not going to agree with some of the ordering, so please do let me know if anything catches your eye as not being right or you don't agree with something. Let me know in the comments below. We can have a discussion about that. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because there's loads of reviews, vlogs and cool content coming soon. And as always, see you on the next video.